Happy Saturday, Curvies. Thank you for coming in this morning. I hope you smash that like button and smash the subscribe button on your way in. Ring the bell so you can get notified next time I upload videos, because I was supposed to be on at 7:35 this morning and I'm just coming on right now because my technical difficulties. Of course, I was trying, y'all. I was trying. But what you have to do when you're trying and things don't work out is keep trying, because persistency and tenacity pay off in the long run. You know what I'm saying? I just kept working it out until I got the end that I needed, which is for me to be able to hear me and y'all today. So thanks for coming into Larger Curves. I hope you have an excellent day. I hope you're ready for an excellent morning. I already got up bright and early this morning. I did those weighted ropes, and I got my swings in. So that works out your back and your bat wing arms and your shoulders and everything. I like that workout a lot, actually, y'all. So I started my day with that. And now I'm drinking my coffee and I'm coming to my Curvies because I had some things I wanted to talk about, I had some things I wanted to talk about. Let's see. I thought I had this other layout. Let's try this one. Yeah, I thought I had that one. I know my thing is smaller, but I'm going to be sharing the screen and stuff. So I hope you guys are fantastic today. I wanted to do this little bit today called Reality Matters. And the reason it's called Reality Matters is because I didn't really come over to my Curvies this week and do all of my recaps on the shows that I like over here. I'm really feeling like we're going to be doing some programming changes over here at Larger Curves. Reality television is saturated. You guys think it's saturated? And while I appreciate my POV and what I cover over here, I do feel like there's so much to choose from that I might try to do little different things over here, just to stand out in a sea of sameness, So instead of do a whole recap of the entire show that everybody does, everybody goes scene by scene and talks about the stuff and stuff like that. So instead, I'm just doing what mattered to me on a couple of shows this week. How's that sound? Smack to you. Happy Saturday. Thanks for coming through. I appreciate it. Let's pop a banner up because I'm not sure what your girl is going to say or what your girl is going to show. I do have a little menu. I know we're going to go, the pictures at the bottom. We have Martell Holthead. We have a whining Dorito. We have Destiny. Let me move this banner real quick so you guys can see. We have Destiny down there. That's Destiny with the high ponytail. Remember Destiny from Love and Marriage Huntsville? Well, yeah, she came up on my radar this week. So we'll talk about that. Then, of course, we have Crystal Minkoff from Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Then we have Dr. Heavenly, who stopped by on the day before my birthday this week. And we did an excellent hour-and-a-half interview over here. Be sure you go through and check it out. I'm going to be splicing it up and making it shorter for us to for us to be able to watch, because it was a lot of information. So I hope you guys get a chance to check out that excellent interview I did with Dr. Heavenly. It was my second one. I'm a Heavenly Angel. So now then in the other head is Annemarie. We might start there. And then we have Kiki sipping a drink. And then we also have Mary Cosby, who, while she matches the background, she still stands out. You know what I mean? Now, everything, for some reason, I started my device, I restarted my device, I turned it back off, I turned it back on, and for some reason, stuff is just sticking today. I have no idea. I press a button 3 seconds ago, and it decides to act when it feels like acting. So, the first thing, let's see. And then I'm going to drop the link so that if you guys have thoughts, you can come and share those thoughts with the people. Because, yeah. So, let's start with Kiki. Kiki from Real Housewives of Miami. Kiki Barth, I believe her name is. There she goes. So Kiki Barth, Real Housewives of Miami, what stood out to me this week in Real Housewives people, oh my gosh, Real Housewives of Miami is OMG. Let's add this to the screen. See, I pressed the button. There. Okay, so this is Kiki Barth. This is her new confessional for her Real Housewives of Miami look. And what Kiki is an excellent friend of. I don't know what formula they use for Miami. And I actually hear that Miami and is it Miami and Married to Medicine both have the same production company. And because you know how Real Housewives of Miami is kind of shot like a music video. And while Married to Medicine is not, it is different than the other shows on Bravo. So I'm not sure what formula they used. I don't know how they got this beautiful cast together on Real Housewives of Miami. And I'm not real sure about how were they already friends? Where did they find these ladies? Were they known to each other a little bit? You know, because those ladies over there are vibing pretty good. And I don't see a lot of fake relationships over there. So I appreciate that. But this week, we had a lot of Kiki. And I have been asking for more Kiki on Miami. She's an excellent friend of. She's interesting. She has style. She has character. She's serving the girls. She's not afraid to say what she means and means what she says. But this week, I felt really bad for her when she got to model in Swim Week in Miami, which is how she became famous as a model. And Julia also walked in the Miami Swim Week show. And Kiki had set up an after party for the girls to go to as special guests after her walking the runway in Swim Week. Those heifers came to her show, sat in the front row, got on her Sprinter van, and there was like a lot of traffic outside of the event, and they didn't get to pull off immediately. They got on the van, and from what we saw, Marisol was on the van 2 minutes and was like, oh, I have to go. And of course, since Marisol left, Alexia left, because she doesn't really care about Kiki either. And then after she left, then Lisa has to go talk about Lenny to some stranger, I guess. So she gets off the van. Then Larsa gets her fake ass up and she pops off the van. Gertie always gets a pass. Nicole, I believe Nicole, who is Kiki's, I thought they were kind of friends also. Nicole got off the van, okay? The only people left on the Sprinter van was Kiki, Adriana, and Julia, who also walked in the Swim Week swim show. Now, to me, that screamed volumes. These ladies are always, all the franchises have this in common, don't they? Oh, we support women. Women supporting women. Oh, you need to support my event. If you don't come to my event, then you're against all the women. You're not a feminist. You hate yourself, don't you? Oh my God, she doesn't drink my wine. She doesn't support. I mean, it's just like all this blah, blah, blah. Whenever these women don't feel supported by other women on the cast across franchises on reality shows. I'll say that. So whether or not we're in basketball world on VH1 or in love and hip hop world on VH1 or wherever, when women have events and invite their friends, they want those other women to show up, especially if you've taken time out of your life to show up at one of their wine cellar events, or oh, I learned how to put my panties on events, or whatever it is. Kiki has been on our screen supporting these women with Burger King cheeseburgers in her purse is the amount of support she's willing to give these women. She knows they don't eat. She's going to have to bring her own food, stick her Burger King Whopper in her purse, and she's still showing up for these girls with food in tow so she can have the nutrition that she needs to stand these ladies. And these ladies came to her show for 5 seconds, and I feel like they were really only there to be in the front row, because you know how that's a big thing. If you're in the front row at any fashion week, then you're who's who, right? So they probably did it more for them than for Kiki, obviously, because if you can't sit down on a party van in a party city in Miami that's hot, hot, fire, and you only give the people 5 seconds before they can pull off from such a crowded event, you weren't really planning on supporting Kiki. And I felt horrible for Kiki in that moment. And so did Julia. Julia was like, where's everybody going? Julia is very sensitive. I appreciate Julia. And Adriana, I feel like Adriana almost wanted to leave, but she finally didn't want to be like the other ones not supporting her. So she's like, oh, the best two are left. And we didn't even get to see any of the after party, you guys. I wanted to see how Kiki partied the night away. Because you know Kiki, if she gonna be out of the house for longer than 6 hours, she uses her dildo first, you guys. I like Kiki. I like her a lot. And those ladies needed to support her. So that was my first one, a little rant about Real Housewives of Miami. Now, also on Real Housewives of Miami, we could get into a couple of other things, but that's what mattered to me. Okay, so we did Kiki. Now we have the next thing we can talk about is, well, just that Dr. Heavenly was making rounds this week. Let's pop over to her page real quick. After she left my show, Dr. Heavenly went to Sherry Shepherd, to Angela Yee. So I feel very honored to have had Dr. Heavenly over here with me, little old me, you guys. And she is hanging out with the sorts of freaking Sherry Shepherd. Okay? She's hanging out with Sherry. Dr. Jackie was with her over there because she's over there making her rounds. I feel like, you know, people say what they want to about Dr. Heavenly. She's a producer. She's a show. She's this. She's just a dentist. Whatever. You guys can say what you want. But Dr. Heavenly is married to medicine, you guys. She's the only star on that show that literally reaches back to real people in everyday life and makes herself accessible in little teeny ways that really matter in life. You know what I mean? Dr. Jackie, I was so glad to see her come out for air because, you know, after all of that stuff where the people were digging up things on her, trying to have her medical license revoked, but you can't stop greatness. You never win when you play dirty. And then, of course, we have Phaedra rocking a red bob. And Sherry Shepherd is looking ever so. I'm appreciating her. Let's see what else we have on these pictures. So she went there, and then she went to Angela Yee. Where did she go? Over here. She went to Angela. Now, she had this hat on in our interview, you guys. It's hilarious. And she was talking about the same stuff over here, too. Let's take a listen. Well, you know what? I'm not sure what's going on with why you guys can't hear it. But look, the devil's not stopping nothing because I always have the sound on the ready, you guys. I always have the sound. So I'm going to let that picture play while I am able to play this sound for you. Because look, like I said, you got to just keep on doing what you do so you can get what you need to get. Here we go.
She was dating a doctor. Initially she was dating a doctor. No, seriously, no. I tell you the truth. I would tell you the truth if I thought it wasn't real. She did a casting with a doctor, an African guy. They didn't get the release sign. I mean, I don't know if that's supposed to be plugged, but it is what
Hi,
it
you
is.
guys.
So,
Hi, Corey.
but
Hi, Brendan.
she is dating
Hi,
people now.
Mademoiselle.
And one guy
Hey,
that she met at
Shay
one of my
B.
husband's events, who is a doctor. I didn't introduce her, but she met him because Damon has events. And I think she's dating a doctor now.
Okay.
I don't know if I could put that out there, but
so we in it for the long
You
haul.
met Kiki?
I think y'all gonna see it.
I bet she is.
I don't like
Shay.
going
That is
So
awesome.
you've also said,
Hey,
I saw
Bianca.
this, that Phaedra has a lot on the reunion.
Hi, Candor.
Like she'll have a lot to talk about on the reunion.
Yes.
Okay, so there's going to be some more things
Yes.
that go on with her.
Yes.
Okay. You're like, I can't get
But you know what? Honestly, I don't know what they're going to play. Because a lot of stuff that Phaedra has done,
tough.
they have not played it. I don't know why. Maybe they don't want you to come in and just not like... I'm not saying you would not like her, but you know what I mean? When I first came in, I was in a shit from the first episode.
Right.
So that whoever you start out being on the show, that's who you are.
Mm-hmm.
Phaedra, they done kind of lead her in. And I'm not even saying it's her fault. It's
Right.
that
It's the way it's edited.
And they bringing her in easy. I'm not a producer. I think that I'm very smart.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Have you met Phaedra's man?
I'm not even saying it's her fault. It's
Right.
that
It's the
it's
way
the
it's
editing.
edited.
And they bringing her in easy. I'm not a producer. I think that I'm very smart.
Have you met Phaedra's man?
So she was talking about Phaedra's man. Over here, she told us that, the expectation of Phaedra is a little different, than what we were thinking. She also told us that Quad told her to keep her name out her motherfucking mouth, but she not gonna do it because you're part of an ensemble cast for 10 years, darling. We're gonna talk about you. You're about to get talked about. You were part of my work crew. You're gonna get talked about. So, and I think that's fair. I think that is very fair. And I love that Dr. Heavenly is out there with, and here she is again. Oh, and then look, she put me on her page. Let's see. X off here. Bam. Check out my latest interview with Larger Curves on YouTube, you guys. My thoughts of Phaedra Parks. Right on. See? And it was true. She really came over here, you guys. I wonder, can we hear this one? She puts us on fast forward. Let's see what that one says. It was so cool to have her in the house. I really hoped you guys could have made it.
You did say that you're going to set your sights higher, and who you have in the crosshairs now is none other than Phaedra. So that was a joke. I really like Phaedra. Honestly, I love that she's a boss. She has been nothing but nice to me. She's been nothing but helpful with the ladies. She has been, now I don't know if it's good for reality TV, but as doing her as a person, I can't say nothing bad about Phaedra. She's been nothing but good. You know what I'm saying? And when I do say stuff, I'm joking. You know what I'm saying? But to me, she takes a joke well. Everybody has their pressure points. Yeah. But I like Phaedra because she's grown. She's not moved by a whole lot of things. You see what I'm saying? She's got
Was there any expectation when Phaedra came that is different than what your experience is with her?
To me, I know what everybody's saying out in the streets because I see it. But honestly, I think that Phaedra came in the right way. She didn't come in thirsty. She didn't come in stark. And I think she probably had some PTSD from the situation she had on Housewives. So she wanted to feel like her. I think that on the other shows where they're not all black shows, she feels probably more at ease. She didn't know what she was walking into with American medicine. She didn't want to take, for example, she's heard a lot of things about me. She didn't want to take that and run with it. She wanted to get to know all of us for herself, which I thought was smart. I think she's fun. I think she's funny. And I think she has a lot of talent. And I'm looking forward to, the rest of the season and seasons after seeing her talent. Because she raised the girls. And it's hilarious. They just haven't been showing it. They haven't been showing it. Like, the Harmony's a classic. I'm like, God,
Really? I want to see it. We want to see
I love.
Yeah, so she came over. She answered all our questions. She took questions from the audience. It was excellent. Yep, and you're right, Miss Dugan, too. I go hard for Heavenly. Because she's excellent. She's an excellent human. Miss Dugan, too. Let me hear you go hard for old Heavenly, right? Yep, and she's heavenly to me. People call her devilly, evil, all that stuff. But they want to see those things of her. You can make the sweetest person nice, that's so nice, evil, and you can make the evilest person nice. I mean, alternative facts is heavy thick in this world. You know what I'm saying? People all have their poison and you can pick your own. All I'm saying is that based off of my personal experience with Dr. Heavenly, after she's been on the show, she's been consistently the same. She's not, I don't know. It's just like she kind of knows what she's doing on the show and she doesn't have a problem being the villain. She says people see her. We were talked about that. Check out the interview. She does not have a problem. And like she just said about Phaedra, when you come on the show, Who you present that first time is who you're going to be. So the first time Dr. Heavenly came on, she got poked at, she poked back, she became somebody who could take it, somebody who, if you talk back to people, sometimes you're the problem. But what she says is the truth. That's the point I like about Dr. Heavenly. People get less worked up about the lies told on them than the truth Dr. Heavenly tells on them. So I'm a person that likes the truth. I'm not with alternative facts. If you cuss me out, you can't be mad at how I react when I'm cussing you back out. And I feel like people are very upset about Dr. Heavenly's reaction to other people, and that she can go longer, stronger, further than the next person. It's not her fault that you start what you cannot finish with her. You start with Dr. Heavenly, you need to be prepared to finish. And if you can't finish, then of course you're going to call her hellish. Of course you're going to call her evil. Of course you're going to call her a snake. Of course you're going to have something adverse to say, because your stamina could not hang with hers. But you started it. You tell her the horse bends under her, but if she tells you you're fat, you're crying. You tell her that she's just a dentist, but you're just a housewife that sells wine. You tell her that, oh, Dr. Daddy don't love her, and she tells you whatever she tells you about your husband who doesn't have a job and needs to be at Dr. Heavenly University, and that's the problem. I just don't understand the logic behind the response to being poked being the issue. Same with Candace on Real Housewives of Potomac. And I don't even have no Potomac pictures at the bottom because they suck this season. But over there also, Candace can get poked by all the people at the table. But her response is, oh, she's a whiny. Oh, she's this. Oh, she's that. So I'm not with that. So people and there's enough room on right for everybody. My POV is just over here. That's just why I go so hard for Dr. Heavenly, because it's usually a response that she's going for. And I don't feel like it's hellish at all. Heavenly is definitely heavenly. The people that play games in heaven are the ones that are hellish, in my opinion. Hashtag sweet and sour. I mean, sweet tea. Yeah. Sweet tea, hashtag, we talked about sweet and sour on the interview also. And sweet and sour is very salty and easily led. She has a lot of people in her ear and she still needs to make her own decisions, in my opinion. And she's been making the rounds. She's another one. She throws stones too. She said other stuff too that Dr. Heavenly and Quad were responding to. But now their response is the problem. People hey, this is reality TV. You got to get a thicker skin. And I think Sweet Tea's husband owes her some counseling or something so that she can get the skin required for this. Let's see. Candor says people have a perception of Phaedra because of yesteryears. It's just playing a role. Yes. And yeah, because I feel like Phaedra, even on this show, I was expecting where we left off from Phaedra on Married to Medicine. I was thinking that Phaedra was going to pick right up being the snarky Phaedra, half a freaking frack, but she wasn't. And I feel like because she's evolved actually, and we're getting to know this new Phaedra who takes a minute longer to get involved in the mess. She's reserved. She tries to play the peacemaker in little messy ways, but she hasn't given us those in real time within the group of the girls, those one-liner shady moments that we look for from Phaedra. She's been great as a confessional sniper, but on the show, she hasn't really done that. Let's see. Miss Dugan, I just think some stuff Heavenly says she could have stayed quiet on. Like what? I'd really like to know what Heavenly has said that you think she should stay quiet on. Is it anything that somebody else has a right to say and only Heavenly needs to stay quiet? That's where I'm concerned, because I feel like, hey, freedom of speech is the First Amendment. So why would Heavenly have to stay quiet on something that everybody in the world gets a right to speak on? That's what I'm saying. Like, why are there different rules for some people? Like, everybody should get the chance to say what's on their heart and mind. Everybody should get the chance to respond. So why, when some people say what's on their heart and mind, they shouldn't have said it? And when some people respond, it's a problem. That's what I just want to understand, really. Heavenly goes low for no reason. Are you sure it's for no reason? Or like I said, in my opinion, was it in response to something else? So when she said your mama to Mariah, who was going low at her about her weight and making inferences about her marriage, was that for no reason? Or was it in response to what she just heard? And of course, when you're arguing with somebody, you're going to reach for the nearest thing and throw it at their head. Or was it really for no reason? Like, I really want to know. Am I mistaken? So Heavenly's just walking around saying stuff like a crazy person talking to their reflection. She's making boogers talk over there. It's literally for no reason. Like, she just walks up to people and says stuff for literally no reason. I don't believe that. It has not been my observation. I do not subscribe to that belief. However, if you can show me, then I will be willing to envelop that in my perception and decide if I need to expand my perception of that situation. But as far as I'm concerned, there's always a reason. You know what I mean? Yeah. I think all of the ladies are great for the show. Most I wouldn't be personal friends with if I had the chance. Interesting. I always want to surround myself with people that are smarter than me, doing better than me, and have more than me, been different places than me. You know, I'm a firm believer that if you hang out, you're the sum of the people you hang out with, in a way, right? My mom used to tell me when I was growing up, and my dad, rest in peace, birds of a feather flock together. And they used to not want me hanging out with the little fast girl named Erin. And I didn't really know what fast was. I was like, well, she can run. But they meant fast as in like worldly, like she knew different words, she knew different situations than I had been exposed to. And my parents would tell me things like, you don't want to hang out with that little fast girl, you get fast too, and stuff like that. Birds of a feather flock together. So I feel like if you hang out with 4 broke people, you flocking with broke people who have no ambition and no dreams, and who are great with the status quo and love living on a plantation, then you might like that too. But if you expand what you're used to and hang out with people that aren't necessarily your regular vibe or your regular environment, and you can get into rooms where you're rubbing elbows with people who you usually wouldn't have access to. I love those situations. Like, I don't always know what to say to the billionaire I just met, but I love being in a room with billionaires, and I have been. I don't know what to say to the guy that just made $13 million last year, but I love that he said hi to me and is willing to let me ask him a question. So I like that kind of access. But to each his own. I don't know. And plus on the show, they haven't really done anything that really put me off. Like Dr. Jackie, I would love to see, like, how does surrogacy even work? Dr. Simone, even though she's Dr. Pancakes and yells a lot, and I don't really think she has a whole lot going on, I would probably love to shadow her and Cecil and see how they keep it. Like, they have a lot of fun together, it seems, when they're not yelling and miserable. I would probably like to hang out with maybe Toya and Eugene. I'm not real sure. I'm sure that whatever humiliation kink he's into, if you hung out with him long enough, you would see why he likes having biscuits thrown at his head. And I don't know. I don't know. I'm just saying. I like different experiences, so I might take a chance. Potomac is very toxic, Candor. I totally agree. Potomac, I mean, did you hear the toilet flush? That was there went Potomac. Damn, that was bad, right? I mean, how can you have taken one of the best and knock it down so far? Because Potomac was on par with Miami for a moment, like just as far as being one of the best out franchise on. I was really digging it for a moment. And now, ever since they let Fist to Cuffs, good old Monique, used to be Samuels, whoop Molly Wop Candace's butt, and all the ladies picked a side and the side was wrong. It's been like kind of chaos over there since then. So and now people don't want to do their job description. It's a lot. Heavenly is a truth teller, and people don't want to hear the truth. They would rather be lied to. You know what, Mademoiselle? I'm going to use that as a segue into the next thing, because I agree with that. In the world of truth, I just heard this thing about, especially for narcissists. Where'd I put it? I'm going to send it. I sent it to somebody. Let's see. Because I'm going to go ahead and send it over here. Let's see. Kerberos? Yeah, here we go.
We have it. AKA mental illness had this to say.
Yeah. So here. So we're going to talk about that right now. Let's go over here. And we're going to make this little. And we're going to come over here to these messages. Messages. Is it this one? Here he is. So again, I think my sound is tripping for some reason. So I'll let LeVar speak there.
I saw this post on Instagram and Facebook. It says the truth triggers the narcissist rage. No one gets angrier than a guilty narcissist, like a narcissistic person. No one gets madder than a narcissistic person that is actually guilty of whatever it is that you're accusing them of. If you tell the truth about a narcissistic person to that narcissist, you can trigger an episode of narcissistic rage, where that person is yelling at you, screaming at you, might try to put their hands on you, might try to harm you, saying the most derogatory things to you. Because it's crazy, because the truth, if it's bad, makes that narcissistic person feel like a bad person. And narcissists, oh my God, y'all. It's gonna sound crazy, but like we hate feeling like we are bad people.
And of course, it made me think about the violence and narcissism of whiteness. You see, when whiteness isn't centered, it makes itself the focus of everything around it. And not only that, but whiteness makes itself the victim of its own crimes. And it tells itself the story over and over again until not only whiteness believes it, but other people believe it about whiteness.
To be white is to be a striver, a crusader, an explorer, and a conqueror. We build, we produce, we go upward. And we recognize the central lie of American race relations. We don't exploit other groups. We don't gain anything from their presence. They need us and not the other way around.
And what I find most interesting about the narcissism of whiteness is that whiteness doesn't care what it has done historically to non-white people around the world. They don't really care about that. Whiteness only cares because we remember what whiteness has done. And because we remember what whiteness has done, that makes whiteness angry. It pisses them off more than anything they've done to non-white communities. And it's because we remember. Holding whiteness accountable for its atrocities is the same as holding a narcissist accountable for the abuse they gave to you. And for me, that's part of the fragility of whiteness. Whiteness can do whatever it wants to anybody, anywhere, at any time. But when you hold whiteness accountable for its actions, it gets violent. It breaks down. Everything it holds dear crumbles because you've pulled away the lie that says whiteness can do whatever it wants and not have any repercussions. That's why we have people like Donald Trump who are saying, oh, this is a witch hunt. They're doing this against me, this, that. He's made himself the victim of his own crimes. The man who's the physical embodiment of whiteness has made himself the victim of his own crimes. And when people hold him accountable for his actions, he responds violently and he crumbles.
I think it's very unfair. It's very unfair. Unfair.
A little bit unfair.
Be unfair. Unfair.
Very, very unfair.
Very unfair. The laws are very unfair.
He goes on to say this.
Which is why you see a lot of narcissistic people out here that have good reputations in the public eye. That, hey, that person is, I'm a good person to the public, so that makes me a good person overall. The only person that has a problem with me is you. That narcissistic rage can be used to control you, y'all. Just the threat of rage. If I get mad, if I show this rage at you one time, next time you won't bring the same thing up. The next time if you catch me in whatever I'm doing, the next time if you want to tell the truth about me and it paints me in a bad picture, you keep it to yourself because you fear that rage. You fear the retaliation. But you know that narcissistic rage is just literally the adult version of a child's temper tantrum, where all the emotions, the kicking, the screaming, and everything else, just in the adult form of somebody who cannot control their emotions.
Oh, she's a pretty woman.
You're running for president of the
Excuse me,
United
excuse
States.
me. I didn't start it.
Okay,
I didn't start it.
But sir, with all due respect, that's the argument of a 5-year-old.
I didn't start it. No, it's not the.
Yeah,
no, it's
the argument of a 5-year-old is
Excuse
he
me,
started
You
it.
would say that. That's the problem with our country.
Every parent knows a
That's
kid
not
who
a
says
5-year-old.
he started
Excuse me.
Somebody's feelings that you hurt by telling the truth. You're not even lying, y'all. You're telling the truth. The truth. When somebody says the truth hurts, they're talking about narcissistic people. Because yes, the truth can absolutely hurt and do a complete number on us, y'all. It makes us feel like bad people. And when we feel like a bad person, guess what comes in? Guess what creeps into the door and peeks in and says, hey, shame. And narcissists, we are always trying to avoid shame at all costs, y'all.
And that shame is why so many Republican-led states have passed legislation banning the accurate teaching of history in America. Hey, good morning.
So I thought that was an excellent example of the of two things that we were going to talk about today. For one, this whole aversion to the truth, right? So Heavenly is the truth teller, IMO. A lot of people don't feel like it, but me and Mademoiselle agree. Heavenly tells the truth, and the truth usually sets you free, but it doesn't set everybody free. It hurts some people. And in this LeVar Baseman Instagram, we just heard that it really hurts a lot of narcissists, okay? But you know who else it hurts are people who don't want to be ashamed. So that would take us to Dorito. So this is going to be a twofold. So one picture we had down there is Dorito, and then we had Mary Cosby. So let me show you why we have Mary Cosby down there. Mary Cosby. So Mary Cosby, this week, she got on the thing. She went to the reunion, you guys, of Salt Lake City and told Whitney that she is a racist. And then she used, here, let me move this for a second. So Mary came out on the couch at Real Housewives of Salt Lake City reunion and sat down, and they were asking her things like, well, who do you like? And stuff like that, right? And then they asked her something, and I don't even know why she would have said that, but let's get that clip. Mary calls Whitney a racist. But like somebody else said the other day, I appreciated Mary telling her that, and I appreciated the response by Whitney. She didn't get too crazy. But here, let's add this to the stage real quick. Because you know me. I was, another reason we're bringing it up is because a lot of people are upset at Mary sharing her experience of racism when dealing with Whitney. And it's really interesting. So I put Mary calls Whitney a racist, right? And I spelled it wrong. But so 4 days ago, Mary accuses Latter-day Saints of racism. Salt Lake. That made it to the Salt Lake Tribune, you guys. Not for the first time. Mary flat out lies on part 2 reunion of the thing. Also lying. Wait, what are they saying? Not for the first time. Mary Cosby flat out lies. So they're calling her a liar. Okay, let's see. Why are they calling her a liar? Also lying, Bravo marketing department put together a deceptive teaser. That their religion is racist. And they're calling, and then look, leave it to good old Salt Lake City Tribune to be like, I'm not a racist, you're a racist, Mary. Look, they're like, paradoxically, Mary says she doesn't have an issue, but she's being accused of being a racist also. They are hilarious. They are hilarious. Okay. Let's see. Mary did actually throw shade at Heather and tell her that her house was hers before the show. That was great shade, Mary. And again, the truth. People be having a problem with the truth. Heather just got that big old house this season. Mary, not only was the show started because of Mary, and I've said since day one, those freaking women on Salt Lake City who tried from the first moment to take down Mary Cosby should be thanking her, giving her pedicures, rubbing her shoulders and her feet, because that's the only reason we are interested in Salt Lake City. Nobody cares about Salt Lake City. Had Mary Cosby not been available to create the cast around Salt Lake City, we would not have seen Salt Lake City, you guys. But no, let Delulu live, right? Let's go here. Real quick, I'm going to show you. Where'd it go? They literally said that. I took a picture of it, didn't I? Let me see if I can send it back over here. Because I knew for some reason somebody was going to try to take that away. Let me see. Yeah, good old Mary. They said that they started it because of her. But anyway, so Mary called her racist. Everybody got their panties in a bunch. But that's not the worst of it. In the blogs, people are coming for Mary talking about she's crazy for sharing her experience of racism, okay? calling her a liar for talking about her experience in racism. Look, the reasoning Mary uses to call her is ridiculous. Let's look at this. Look, you guys, I had to share with somebody the other day. Racist tendencies. So let's send this to. Okay, so we'll be able to get that there. I'll be able to get the sound here, and we're going to let that play. So again, when Mary called her a racist, you know what I noticed? Whitney didn't say I'm not. The editing didn't show Whitney say I'm not a racist. That's not true. I don't know what you're talking about. Not a lot of that happened. So let's listen at this exchange, you guys.
Because that's a big accusation to make, and I am no longer a member of the Mormon Church, and that was part of my process.
Well, I don't have issue against the Mormon Church.
I just want Mary to know, because that's a big accusation to make, and I am no longer a member of the Mormon Church, and that was part of my process.
Well, I don't have issue against the Mormon Church.
I just want Mary to know, because that's a big accusation to make, and I am no longer a member of the Mormon Church, and that was part of my process.
Well, I don't have issue.
So she just said she left the church and that it's a big accusation to make. Look, don't be a racist. Don't have racist leaning tendencies. Do your own homework. It's 2024. If you're ever scared about being a racist, do some research. Look at what racism is. Look at how it's a system to oppress. Look at how the benefits of when you are part of that system. Do a little due diligence on your part. Don't wait to treat a Black person or another person subhuman and then be like, oh, what did I do? Before you leave the house, how about you learn how to interact with other humans? Even better yet, if everybody just did the golden rule, do unto others as you would have them do unto you, is basically how you won't be a racist. Okay. So if you'll serve everybody, if you'll charge everybody the same prices, give them the same access that you would want, then you can also have those things. The golden rule is a great starting point, okay? So if you're not going to go dig up and try to make everybody, if you're not going to go dig up on Lisa Barlow that her tequila is somehow a cult and that she's personally responsible for people spending their life savings getting drunk and somehow finding her culpable for it, then you can't in turn to Mary, who has a church, and try to make her culpable and say that she's somehow providing a disservice in the community via a church and call it a cult for over a year and then not apologize for it. I mean, it's all adds up, you guys. It all adds up. So, but the first place to start is don't treat other people subhuman. You know what I'm saying? That would be a big thing to do. Now, I was looking for the actual, what's it called over here on her? The actual part where she says, you're a racist. And of course, I can't find it. But we all heard it. Here, I'm going to ask my Google phone. Just a second, you guys. Thanks for being here. Smash the like button. Awesome, you guys. Okay. I think I might have found it. Let's see. So she said in 2023, Mary Cosby tweeted also, "This tells me Whitney is racist too." She tweeted that September 23rd, 2023. And she believes it, and it's true for her, you guys. That's the thing. A lot of racism is built off experiences and stuff, so yeah. She said how she was treated the entire season also let her know that Whitney was a freaking racist. And that lends itself a little to Dorito, whose picture was down in the corner, just about because Dorito dug in her heels too about being called a Karen, which I guess some people is like, and that's racist. That's racist adjacent, is being Karen, you know. So that's a big thing. And Dorito is like, she doesn't think she needs any sensitivity training or anything. She basically wants Garcelle to get over it and not call her that. Hey, Ann, what's good? And One Who Cares popped in. Yeah, the sound. Can you hear me now? The sound went out for a second, but I'm back. Yeah. I was shoveling, came on. Right on time, right on. Drink something warm. Yeah, get some good, yummy tea in you. Get something warm. Um, but I love Mary, and I love that she's not afraid. And I'm looking for that thing that said Mary was the reason for the season. It was a blind item for another vlogger that had proof that Mary was the reason for the season. Oh, you guys, let's look at this real quick. Salty Housewives podcast. Salty Housewives podcast. Oh my gosh, look at this picture they just posted, you guys. Let me see. It's on their homepage. Let's go there. They just posted this, Elisa Barlow. Okay, like Monica said, Donald Trump fan, Lisa Barlow, everybody. So Lisa Barlow loves Trump. She wants Trump and Cruz for president. And then she wanted Cruz for president. And then she wanted Cruz for president and Cruz for president. Lisa Barlow loves Trump and Cruz, you guys. FYI. No wonder she loves her good spray tan, too. Yes, Mary was the MVP, and I agree. Wasn't that great? 3 here. Right on. If Garcelle had never bent the knee to Erica, Dorito wouldn't have that attitudes towards her. Dorito is half brown. She needs to get her ish together. You know what? I'm not going to blame Garcelle for Dorito's racist tendencies. Dorito already had those. Dorito was already treating Garcelle otherly when Garcelle came on the show. And that may have exacerbated it because it gave the Fox Faux 5 more fake power. But I don't feel that that's why she has that attitude towards her. I feel Dorito already had that attitude towards her, and maybe we noticed it more after that, but I saw Dorito always have an edge with Garcelle. Like she would always just say things very loud, very aggressive, and very combative with Garcelle, more than the other ladies. So I'm not Now, I'm never going to make the black person the reason that the white person is racist. Never will I ever. But everybody can do what they want. Half the cast of Salt Lake, except for Monica, all love Trump, right? Happy Saturday. Yeah, right on. Half the cast is racist in her opinion, right? I would look, if the foundation of your teachings in life is rooted in racism, then you probably have racist tendencies and a bias that you need to address if you don't want somebody to pull your racist slip later and tell you that it's showing. Lisa Barlow is the main one, right? Oh my gosh, happy Saturday. I'm just saying that it didn't help. I don't think it has anything to do with Garcelle. It's that nothing to do with Garcelle. And I felt like that scene, while it made some people feel like Garcelle was weak, I feel like Garcelle really was showing that she was concerned about Erica and just being like, are you okay? But physically being on her knee in front of Erica is what you're talking about. But that's also what anybody could do with a friend that they're trying to just show, hey, look, I'm here for you. I didn't mean it like that. But it being a melanin and a non-melanin person makes it look like you're bending the knee. I feel like it was just more of Garcelle's humanness coming out. I feel like Garcelle is excellent in her humanitarian endeavors. And that's probably why she gets her humanitarian awards. She's excellent at treating people like a human, which part of racism is the dehumanization of people, right? So I feel like Garcelle is far from any racist leaning adjacent stuff. A Mademoiselle says some of these people can be smelled a mile away, not hard to spot at all, right? Ooh-wee. Many of these ladies hold some biases one way or another. Lisa, yes. Lisa with her good Jamaican ass. Yes. Lisa Barlow, yes. Alexia, yes. All of them. Biases, yes. Lisa Barlow and Trump could be related. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. I think that's the picture I think that's what they're trying to show us. Is that her daddy? I don't know. I don't know, you guys. But leave it to the salty housewives, okay? This guy is hilarious. Is he the one that had the proof? Somebody posted the proof the other day, the picture, they had it. They had the actual thing from the producers that said she was the reason for the season. Can't find it. Let's see. Corey says, you can be concerned and not bend the knee. They not friends, so no. Well, we don't really know. Maybe she was really trying to be her friends. And you can be concerned and not bend the knee. But that's what I'm saying. Garcelle is the type of person that would do that. Obviously, she wanted her to really understand and got on her low level. Garcelle lowered herself in that moment to the level of Erica, who was gaslighting her anyway in that scene. I don't know. Trump would never really like Lisa Barlow because of her original religion. Oh, but I thought his son and daughter are both that also. Isn't that true? I don't know. I'm going to drop the link while we wrap up this week for Reality Matters. Let's see who else is down here. Let's see. I would never bend the knee. I don't really care for Lisa, but I don't judge someone based on political views. Look, political views or religious views, you could do what you want in your bedroom, at your voting pool, and in your church. I don't judge you based off of that. And it's taken into consideration in your treatment of me later when I look back at the feelings I may have had in our dealings. It might scratch the back of my head as to why that was an occurrence in our experience. But I don't judge you based off of that. But afterwards, if the experience leaves me feeling a way, and in my examination of why am I feeling this way? Oh, it's because they were brought up like that. Oh, well, maybe that's why they treated me like that. And that's what I felt. You see what I'm saying? So it's not a prejudgment and you're free to it. However, if it leaches into our experiences together, then it might cause me to realign our interactions in the future so that I don't leave our interactions feeling dismayed. But I'm not going to judge you. You can do whatever you want, however you want to do it, in whatever hole it needs to be done. But if I leave any interactions feeling that has something to do with why you're treating me like this, then I'm definitely taking that into consideration. And I may or may not want to bring my sand to your play box again. Doritos slip been showing. That's what I'm saying, Mademoiselle, since day one. The way she talks, she thinks she's better than Garcelle. I'm still bothered by how she got boss Garcelle and said, go take a shower to Garcelle in Vegas. Bitch, we told you how to wash. You telling me to go take a shower? I will go take a shower when I'm ready. Hi, Terry. Love you. Thank you for my birthday wishes. I appreciate you always. You're such a positive vibe. Love you. I judge people by their political beliefs. It says a lot, as these are core characteristics they agree with. So I appreciate that. And that's what I'm saying. I don't prejudge you based off of that. You can be a Republican. You can be a Democrat. You can love Trump. You can love Biden. You can love polyamorous sex. You can love whatever. But if after I interact with you, you say things when we're in a room full of Hispanics or Latinos, like build that wall, I might not want to hang out with you no more. If you are somebody who, is away in the bedroom, and then you try to make me that way when we're not in a bedroom, I might not want to hang around you because I don't want that extra pressure, because that's not how I am in my bedroom. You see what I'm saying? So I reserve whatever judgment till after, but it is actually very safe in some cases to not even align yourself with things that you feel might be harmful to you based off of their characterized beliefs. So I appreciate what Mademoiselle is saying, because look, oh, this is a very, look, I don't want to prejudge you, but I might not hang out with you a lot if I know things that you support are going to get me called names. Okay, so just look at this. So you guys know that MAGA guy who was making headlines last week, the black guy. He's black and he's hanging out with MAGA people. He walks in the bar, they're calling him a hard N-word. Hard R-N-word. And he's just trying to be around people that share his same political belief, but he's getting called the hard R-N-word because those people's beliefs also align with racist beliefs. But he believes in what they stand for politically. So in that case, I feel like he might have prejudged that situation wrong, because you think you can go hang out with them and you're all just saying make America great again, but the America they're making great again only has N-words with the hard R on the end, buddy. And that's where I would have to withdraw my support of that. You see what I'm saying? But not everybody vibes the way we do. I can't stand Doritos. She just seems fake as F. Oh, somebody's in the back. Corey. Hello? Corey? Hello? 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 Well, Corey's in the back. Maybe she'll come back. Yes, we love each other. She just seems fake AF, and her different voices. Oh my God. It's like I have different personalities, you guys, but it's in control. It's not like I'm schizophrenic or anything. It's all for comedy relief, right? And even my kids be like, Mommy, use your regular voice, right? I wonder if Doritos kids ever are like, Mom, just freaking speak English already. I had to dump a friend because she supported Trump. I couldn't get with it. Yes. Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like, you can be hanging out with somebody and everything's great. And then you find out they want to build a wall and America's only great if Black people are subservient. And you're like, but wait, we've been hanging out for years. I had no idea you felt this way. Yeah, you can't put your access is power, you guys, and you can't put yourself around people like that. Yeah. Hey.
Now can you hear me?
Yeah. I get that, Shay. Yeah, hey, they're both, you know what I always say over here? What do I always say, Curvies? Politics, a two-party system, same ass, two cheeks, right cheek, Republican, left cheek, Democrat. We get shit on in between.
Yeah, but one's less ishy.
No, they're not. They're both the same amount of itch. They touch. They're the same amount of itch. It's the same amount of E. coli. It's the same amount of access to the shit.
Itchy. And if you go to the one that's not in the crack, you just assuring that the other one, the orange one, will get in there because you're gonna split that vote.
No, you're not going to split the vote.
You are going to split the vote. You will split the vote. In a two-party system,
you can come over here and yell all you want to,
and you vote for the third party, you're splitting the vote.
You don't split the vote if you
You
vote
are
within the party.
splitting the vote.
If you vote within the party, you don't split the vote.
You are splitting the vote.
You
are, because it's a vote for the Republican Party.
Democrat, you're still voting for a Democrat. What are you talking about?
You're splitting the vote.
No, whatever. You don't.
You are splitting votes when you vote for the third party. You're splitting the vote when you vote for the third party. You're still splitting the vote.
But I didn't say this third party. You're not even listening.
You're still splitting the vote.
It's not splitting the vote, you guys. If you vote,
it is splitting the vote.
Okay, so you guys, if you vote in a party for the Democrats and it's in a primary and there's another Democrat that you prefer over Biden and you vote for that Democrat, you are not splitting the vote. Don't be afraid to use your democracy the way you want to use it. Okay? That's what I'm saying. What Corey's talking about is something else. I don't know what she's talking about, but don't be afraid. If you're voting for a Democrat in the primary that's not Biden, you're not splitting the vote. I think she's talking about if you vote for a third party or something, that you might be splitting the vote. But she knows that the person I'm talking about is a Democrat. So I'm not splitting the vote. Anyway, let's unmute Corey.
The third party is not a Democrat. The third party is a whoever. It's not even a party. The third party is not even a recognized party. And so if you vote that in the general election, you are splitting the vote. The Green Party is not a party.
But who's voting for the Green Party? Who's even a candidate on the Green thing? Nobody's talking about that.
Your girl, Marianne Williamson, is not a Democrat.
Party. Oh my God.
She's a Green Party. She's not the Democrat.
She's not a Democrat. Corey, you're a lunatic.
She's not a Democrat. She's not a registered Democrat. So she's an outlier, which means you will split the vote for, and that vote will count towards the Republican Party. If you didn't want to vote Republican, don't split the vote.
No.
That's how it works. I've been studying political science since I was 8.
She is running as a Democrat, Corey. Check your facts.
She's not on a Democratic ticket.
She's running as a Democrat, though. You don't know everything, Corey.
She's not
You you gonna go to Marianne
on the
Williamson
ticket.
and tell her what she's running at?
She's not on the ticket.
Call her and tell her what she's running as, Corey.
But she's not
running
on the
as
ticket.
a Democrat.
She's
She's
not on the
running
ticket.
as a Democrat. She made it as a Democrat on many ballots already. She's running as a Democrat.
It's still like a vote for Trump.
Oh, whatever.
Because she's not going to
You just
win.
said if she wasn't a Democrat, she was splitting
She's
the
not
party.
going to win.
So now I tell you she is a Democrat. Now she's still splitting the party. Corey, come on.
She is splitting the party.
Okay. Yeah, she's splitting the party with sense and peace.
No, she's not. She has no sense.
What's wrong with building the wall? And look,
she's a kook.
The problem I have with building walls is when he says that we're not going to pay and then we pay.
Building the wall takes
securing your border and your state. I feel like that's very important.
Yeah, but when you take people's land, there are people in Texas who have land on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
Eva Longoria's family is one of them. She doesn't call herself an American. She's a Texican. Why? Because her people have been here since before the clear people took over. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
They have hundreds of acres and they're on both sides of the Rio Grande, right? So what that wall does is cuts off these people's land and their money. That's what's wrong with building the wall. And you don't really need to build the wall. What you need to do is fix the ding dang immigration system, which is broken and racist.
So we were just talking about Marianne Deborah Williamson, for those who don't know, and she's running as a Democrat right here. I don't know if
the person who has political experience.
I don't know who started I don't know who's starting misinformation about her, but she is running as a Democrat.
What's her foreign
policy?
Period.
She is running as a Democrat, period.
What's her foreign policy? Does she have any foreign policy experience?
Period.
Does
so now
it's
not. But I want you to know. I just want to recognize how you just moved the bar. So first it was that she's this, and then it was that she's that, and now I show you that she's what you said, and now you want to know something else. It's sounding like you just want a problem, Corey, and we can have.
I don't want a problem. I think the Marianne Williamson chick ain't good. And I'll never vote for her. I don't care. Good. My ass is on fire. I would never vote for her. I wouldn't even want her to spit the fire out on my ass. I'd rather burn.
That you would not want. I'm so glad you to burn instead of.
Show enough.
You know what? That's interesting. That self-preservation wouldn't even kick in for you. You
not
would
with
prefer
that
to
crazy
burn
hubby.
And go along with the status quo
not
than
with that
to have
crazy
your
heifer.
own political voice in a democracy where
not
you have
that crazy
right.
heifer.
And you'd rather be led around like a sheeple and
I'd rather be a sheeple than an asshole.
Because, yeah, okay, I get it. You're afraid.
I'm not afraid. I know she has no political experience. I know her ass don't have no foreign policy experience. And that's like voting for Trump, and I will never do it. Ever. I'm not voting against my best interest.
Wouldn't it be best for Americans to put themselves first? That's what I'm saying. Building the wall may be the start of Americans first. Well, you know what?
No, Ann. Because you got Hot Wheels over in Texas who want to unalive these people. So no, the wall ain't gonna stop racism. You have to fix the immigration system, which is racist and broken, just like the justice system. It has to be fixed. A wall ain't gonna stop them. And do you know what they do? They tunnel under the wall, and so the wall ain't gonna do nothing. You got cartels
everywhere. Look in New York.
You got cartels who got tunnels in
New York. Let's talk about the tunnels in New York under the synagogue. Full of mattresses. There's tunnels everywhere.
Okay, listen.
So
let me finish my point. There are tunnels in our national parks and that the cartels have used to funnel in the stuff. But now that the stuff is legal.
The cartels, you mean the government?
No, cartels. I mean Mexican cartels is what I'm telling you.
Oh.
I'm not talking about the government. I'm talking about the Mexican cartels.
Did you ever see that series called Escobar? And how the government helped them do everything they did? Did you ever see that
Can I
series?
at least finish my point first before you try to shoot it down?
I'm just wondering if you ever saw that show, because that's where I was getting my logic from.
What I'm telling you is
Well, you were actually telling somebody in the comments. Let me see. What was the comment? The wall. We were talking about the wall.
I'm trying to tell her why the wall is futile. But if I could finish, it'd be nice.
Okay, well, if you want to finish, go ahead. But
like I was saying, and the cartels have dug tunnels from Mexico through to our national parks before they legalized the recreational use of the trees, the leafy stuff, the 420. They were making millions of dollars, and they were unaliving campers and hikers in these parks because they got too close to their crop. So a wall's not going to help them if they're tunneling in under the wall, is what I'm saying. I don't care who helped them. I'm telling you that's why the wall is futile.
Oh, okay. Well, that sounds like an interesting point. I don't know. I feel like if people want to put a wall up to try to do something and it's their land,
not gonna help.
You
They
can try to do that.
Or go over
whatever
it.
you think could help you, do that. If it happens to be somebody's private property, you might have a big hole in your wall, though, because I don't think that that's fair, putting a wall. But also, are you allowed to have land in this country and that country?
Yes, if
this country, but the border is the deciding factor. So if this country decides they want to put a wall on their country that happens to be your land, then you're just gonna have a wall on that shit.
It's called eminent domain, and it's
they do it to a lot of people all the time. That's how Oakland got Oakland. But okay, I want a wall between Canada and Alaska. We have enough bears, right? Okay, Mademoiselle says, and it is what it is. Cannot be friends with someone who holds these kind of beliefs. I have been seeing, she says, I've been seeing kids being forced to remote learn. Yes, oh my God. So also in freaking New York, where they have tunnels under synagogues, they have taken the kids out of Brooklyn schools, you guys, to let the immigrants into Brooklyn schools to live there. Now, what I think they should do, now that was a disservice. I don't know who's doing that shit. But
Hot Wheels and the dude in Florida.
Can I finish my thought?
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm saying is that I don't think that was the best use of thing. I think they did that to get a rise out of the people. You know how many empty buildings they have in New York that are usable? They did not have to use the 5 whatever school buildings or however many buildings in Brooklyn specifically. Why didn't they go get a school in Manhattan? Why didn't they go get a school someplace else? Because they went to Brooklyn for a reason, to upset the people there, because they don't have as much money as the people in Upper Manhattan and those other places where the schools are bigger and better and have more heat for the immigrants they letting in.
It depends on what part of Brooklyn.
They did it all to get people's panties in a bunch and pick on the lowest on the totem pole when they had actual buildings, office buildings that are vacant from not being used. They could have put those people in there, and I think that would have been a better use of them, or some empty hotel left over from when they was putting the people in there from COVID or something. But I do not think that was fair to affect the children of America for immigrants coming here for housing. I don't agree with that at all.
Do you know how that happened? Parts of Brooklyn are very affluent. Parts of Brooklyn aren't. So you can't say because they didn't have, there are millionaires living.
There are millionaires living everywhere. Okay, whatever. But they still didn't put them in Manhattan. Why didn't they put them in Manhattan? Tell me that.
I don't know why they didn't put them in Manhattan.
Oh, okay.
But this is what I'm saying. The reason why they have an overflow of people from the borders is because Hot Wheels in Texas and the Satan in Florida shipped them there with no warning, no nothing. They put them on buses and private planes and sent them there. They did the same thing in Chicago. So racism is still rearing its ugly head, period. And then the mayor of New York is not even a real Democrat. He's all Republican, but he's Democrat in name only. And
Did he
he's
split the vote?
also,
Did he split the vote?
I'm about to say, have a good day.
It's
I
a valid
really am.
question.
I'm about to say, have a good day so we can remain friends.
Oh, well, if this is going to get us off the friends, then by all means.
I'm going to say, have a good day. I'll catch you later.
Ta-ta for now. That's what happens when somebody wants to just take over the whole thing. And if you can't agree, then there's no respect. I'm not sure what that was about, you guys. You know, we love people over here, everybody's POV, but some people don't like getting confronted with stuff without having to get off the line and threaten a friendship. I'm not sure how that went left, but all I know is I get my POV for a reason, and so does everyone else. But yeah, I think it's always best if you just want to take your toys and go home if somebody's not understanding what you're saying. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Sad face. Yes. I don't understand what you mean by racism. I'm not sure where she was going with that either. I feel like the racism I was talking about in it was that they put those kids in schools in Brooklyn that has less money than Manhattan. And why did they do that? I don't know. I'm not really sure why they would have done that. I don't appreciate that they did it. Oh, yeah, no, we're still going to be friends. That's fine. That's fine. Yeah, that's why she got off the thing, because she has a thing where if you don't agree with her, then she has to get off the phone with you because it's going to affect your friendship. So then she hangs up so that you can have your own point of view, because everybody's entitled to their point of view and I don't have to agree with you and she doesn't have to agree with me. But if she feels like going over there, then I'm sure that everything's going to be fine. I really don't know what the fuck just happened, y'all. Look, I'm not just going to agree with somebody just because they sitting up here talking about they my friend. I'm not going to do it. And I don't have to curb my opinion for said person. And there's no love loss. They don't want the children to have an education, yes, and the parents to lose their jobs, yes, because if you're not at work and homeschooling, yes, yes, yes. I mean, didn't they have a huge problem during the whole panty where a lot of the kids didn't even have the computers and stuff like that, and then you do have to rearrange your whole day if your kids are going to be at home homeschooling. You have to rearrange your whole day. Really be getting a proper education. Yes, they did it on purpose. It was purposeful and with intention. I love you all also. Yeah, me and Corey, we always go left on politics. Ooh-wee, she doesn't want me voting. She wants, look, all I know is that this is, in America, we have a democracy. In a democracy, you're supposed to be able to vote for who you want. You don't, look, you don't have, it's not peer pressure. You're not in the bathroom in high school being forced to smoke a cigarette. You get to do with your vote what you want, people. You don't have to go along with the sheeple thinking. Don't be afraid to use your vote the way you want to. I don't understand. You go to church where you want, you sleep with who you want, and you vote for who you want. It's very simple in my world. That's all I'm saying. Ann says, inflation, housing costs, petrol, cost of health insurance, cost of university have been on the rise, yet taxpayers are funding wars in Ukraine, Israel, and now immigrants. When will the U.S. be first? Girl. Thank you. But every time I go on Instagram and mention under the POTUS that where are my reparations, I get shadow banned. I get shadow banned for mentioning reparations under the President of the United States freaking Instagram thing. Did you know you can't say reparations under there? Under a post about how they're sending more money to the Ukraine or Israel? If I say anything about reparations under, I'd be like, oh, but reparations, can we talk about reparations today since we got money? Can we talk about it? I mean, if you send $400 billion out of this country, then I'm pretty sure we could have talked about reparations. I'm positive. Because what they usually start the conversation with reparations by saying is, oh, we don't have enough money to pay for that. But you spent $400 billion out of the country to non-foundational Americans, and it's based off American tax dollars, and you send that over there, but we can't have a conversation about reparations based off of slavery, the transatlantic slave trade, and Jim Crow, 450 years of oppression on melanated humans in America. Oh, look, you guys got me stirred. These are all of my trigger words in one freaking sentence, Annie. All of my trigger words in one sentence. Where are my reparations? Run me my money. My daddy just died in December. He didn't even get to be alive for the talk about reparations, and slavery ended 470 years ago, y'all. But he died hearing that Ukraine, Israel, and immigrants got $450 trillion. You guys. Yes. Hello, Mamere. If I was sleeping with who I want, Brad Pitt would be snoring in my bed. That's because you would have put it on him, Mamere. You would have put it on him. He would have been down for the count. You would have put the sleeper on that fool. He would have been, Mamere. I love it. I love it. This is why my dad says, why be mad at the shadow government when you can be mad at the real government? That's what I'm saying. Yes, touchette. And did you hear Monica say shirts are coming soon? Touchette. Mademoiselle says, that's crazy that you cannot say reparations. Yeah, I swear. I put hashtag reparations under the POTUS's thing about how he was supporting something over out of here. And it said, this comment, it got that little warning. Do you want to change this comment? And I didn't change it. And I ended up not being able to comment on nothing for 14 days. 14 days of not being able to comment because I did not change it from reparations. Freedom of speech is dead with 2 X's over the eyes, but not in the Marshmallow DJ kind of way. Annie says, sorry, I didn't mean to trigger. No. I mean trigger in a good way. Like all my trigger words in one thing. No, it is a very hot topic. Very, very hot topic. For me anyway, because I'm like, I told you in 2024, it's not the year of carrying around anchors, right? Like, so it's all about freeing yourself, right? So you're freeing yourself from oppression, from lies. The truth is setting people free, right? All the cream is rising to the top, right? Everything is getting in a position of greatness. And part of that greatness is facing things head on. You can't run from everything all your life. So these are triggering topics because usually people want to run from it and not talk about it. So I'm not upset. Don't be sorry. That's what I love the First Amendment. Say what you want. Say it with respect. If you can't say it here respectfully, then you know to bounce. Go. It's all good. America is turning into China and Russia. Well, from what I understand, they definitely have their hands out for monies. Ah, yes, Brad Pitt. Yes. All of this silence black, yes, all of this to silence black people. Disgusting. And if you look at it overall, a lot of it does appear to be at the cost of black people. I just posted this morning that Scholastic School Books, yes, has a button so that you can opt out of presenting any books with black people in 2024, y'all. They just made that button available. I'm gonna show you. Go back here. Open this. See, stop. Back. X. Okay. Let's make this big. I'm gonna show you. So you guys know Scholastic Books, right? Scholastic Books. Just let me see. Can I find it? Here, so Scholastic Books. Again, you guys won't be able to hear it. So let me get the video ready over here. I sent it to my mama. I actually sent it to a couple people this morning because I was like, I did not believe it. I couldn't believe it. That this was a freaking thing.
Did you know the Scholastic book
Here we
fair
go,
just
sending
made a
it
button
here.
to get rid of all the books with black characters? Scholastic just put out a statement that made things worse. After getting called out by Book Riot, the Mary Sue, and their own authors and employees, Scholastic Did you know the Scholastic Book Fair just made a button to get rid of all the books with black characters? Scholastic just put out a statement that made things worse. After getting called out by Book Riot, the Mary Sue, and their own authors and employees, Scholastic responded, "Hey, we support diversity. But a lot of states have introduced banned book laws, so we purposely excluded a lot of the diverse ones to protect y'all." Even though when a teacher got fired for reading a book from the Scholastic Book Fair earlier this year, none of that protection seemed to appear. Scholastic says they know it's not perfect for them to make literal history books opt in, but not providing them at all would be their only other option. Even though when Penguin Random House saw books getting banned, they started giving them out for free in the back of a van. And in other states where literacy was under attack, they hired lawyers to fight back. I use my own money to go around the country encouraging literacy. But I guess the world's largest publisher and distributor of children's books has fewer resources than me. Children's book editors literally base their buying decisions off what can be sold at the Scholastic Book Fair. So if Scholastic doesn't change something, a lot of these stories will disappear from mainstream publishing. If Scholastic actually believes what they said on this page, now is the time that kids need them to be brave. And if you agree, tell them so they know it's not just me. Did you know the Scholastic Book Fair?
Did you guys hear that? Does anybody have any thoughts on that? Mademoiselle, you hear that? You're on to something with this comment. All of this for us, for the melanated. Why are we being targeted? You don't want our kids to have books. Our kids can't have dolls. We can't walk home on the street. We can't walk with our hands up in our pockets. You can't drive. It's so much shit. How is anybody's freaking hypothalamus supposed to exist in this? This is horrible, you guys. Everybody reach out to Scholastic Books. I grew up on that. That's disgusting. How are they allowed to do this? And in America, what we were taught is that slavery ended in 65 or some stuff like that. Here, I'm gonna ask the phone. When did slavery end in America?
On December 18th, 1865, slavery ended in the United States.
How many years ago did slavery end in America?
Slavery in United States was legally abolished by 13th Amendment to the United States Constitution in 1865. This is from Wikipedia.
What's 1865 minus 2024? What's 1865 minus 2024?
It's negative 159.
You are correct, Annie. I don't know where it's been 450 years since it started. That's what it is. When did slavery start in America?
Slavery in America began with the arrival of a ship to the Virginia colony in 1619 and ended with the ratification of the 13th Amendment in 1865. This answer is from socialstudies4kids.com.
So I went in my rant. I said the numbers backwards. My point was my daddy died without reparations even being talked of, even though slavery ended 160 years ago, after 460 years of slavery and Jim Crow, since 1619. That's what I was meaning to say, Annie. Thank you. Yeah, but the benefits for slavery still exist. It's still, the entire system of America, within its constitution, is definitely based off of racist tendencies. Yes. The generational wealth thing is a huge part. And the businesses. There are businesses today that are still thriving from when slavery was incepted. There are many businesses still thriving today that were incepted during slavery, and they're still rocking and rolling, making it hand over fist. Yes, they are. Let's see. Let's see. Let me go up. Oh, good. Lots of messages. Annie, I didn't think you understood my message. It says it is disgusting. Isn't that gross? I can't even make this shit up. It was in reference to Larger saying 400 years ago. Yeah. That's what I was saying. It didn't end 400 years ago. It's been since 1619 through today. They say it ended 150 years, 59 years ago, but it's still going on. It's all just words on paper. That's fake facts. That's an alternative fact, is that slavery ended. This shit is still in the 9 to 5 is a form of slavery, you guys. You guys get paid sharecropper wages while the freaking person in the desk at the corporate office is making all the money off the plantation, and you can't even live in a lean-to in the city that you're in your sharecropper wages, y'all. It's still going on. Insanity. Yes. They secretly want us to believe we're crazy, imagining all of this. They do. They want us to believe that we're crazy. There is literally an attack on our mental health at this point. We don't have the right to be mad about it. Oh, they're always so angry. We don't have the right to bring it up. Oh my God, they're always pulling the black card. We don't have a right to want to talk about it. Oh, look at them victimizing themselves. Our dads didn't do it. My grandpa didn't do it. You see what I'm saying? We must be something fucking extra special in the universe to get this, specifically in this state, in this country rather, but globally be under attack for in the 1800s for that, what was it, that Belarus thing when they split up Africa? While Africans were living there, y'all, they split up Africa. How would you guys feel if somebody came to your house where you are, that you paid your mortgage on and you own free and clear, and came to your house and said, oh, well, we had a meeting out in the street, and we decided that this house that you paid for, that you and all your people been living in, this is ours now. This is ours, and we're going to come in with our rules, and we want to live in your house with our rules, with you, until we make it so uncomfortable for you that we either kill you or move you out. That's what they did to Africa with that whole all the European countries got together and sparsed up another person's house, you guys. And now when the people want their shit back, they play victim. What do they mean they want it back? Well, we've been here for so many years. Bitch, I was here already. Isn't that the same argument I can have? We must be something extra motherfucking special to have this all upon us. Yes, Darren. Thank you. Somebody in here is your birthday. Hey, and I'm still celebrating my birthday. It was great. My family, we went and saw The Beekeeper, the new John Statham movie. It was very good. The Hive. The Hive. Got to keep the hive. You got to protect the hive. Very good. Very good. 1864 is when it started. Is when it ended. 1619 is when it started. But somebody even said, in some of the research I do, it could have even started a year or two before the 1619, because while the first ship that came here was in 1619, I think the actual slave trade started to the Caribbeans a couple of years prior to it actually got to America, based off of the research. Somebody can correct me. I know y'all love correcting me in the chat. If somebody can do that for me, I'd appreciate it. Yes. So 1865 is when it did it. The Emancipation Proclamation Act was delivered by Lincoln, who didn't he have slaves at the time that he didn't even set free? I believe that was the case. Yes. It does still exist today. Yep. Okay. So that is part of it. Thank you, Bianca. That's what I'm saying. Not only are regular 9-to-5 jobs are a form of a plantation, when you think about the pay scale and the labor that's exchanged for the amount of labor you do and the amount of pay that you get compared to, let's call your corporate supervisor, your overseer. How much money and leisure do they get compared to the labor that they put in? It's exactly set up like a plantation, you guys. I know it sounds crazy and nobody wants to be black these days or be blacked, but anybody with a 9-to-5, you're pretty much in the situation of having an overseer plantation keeper over your job because you're not getting paid what you're really working. Slavery prices is based off of free labor or unpaid labor or very low wage labor in the rewritten books that they're telling the people that, oh, it wasn't bad. They got paid and they got fed chicken scraps. It wasn't that bad. They were well cared for. We only beat them the skin off their back 3 times a day. It wasn't all day. We only took their kids and did what we wanted with them and freaking separated their families. We only did that every day. I mean, a couple of don't want to look at that part. It still exists today. Some man just said the other day, I'm going to have to find it. That man literally fixed his mouth to say that there weren't enough arrests being made in his states and they needed more people in the jail to do the labor they had. I'm going to find it. I tell you, I put a bookmark on a lot of this stuff because I can't even believe that I'm the one that has to hear this stuff. Let me see. Well, I would have sent that to my husband. Let me see. Where's husband? Because me and husband be going in on the system. We be like, dude, what the F? Again? Where'd the old boy go? It was crazy, you guys. He said, oh no, that was funny too. Here it comes. Where is old boy? Oh, look, they removed my video, you guys. Look, that's because it was old boy saying that he needed more freaking jail people. Okay, I can't find it right now. I don't want to hold you up with that. We have been on here for almost 2 hours. Let's get at the rest of these comments. I think I did everybody in my thumbnails. No worries. I'm trying to learn. Sorry. No. It's all good, Ann. It's all good. It's all good. Love, respect. Slavery is not ended for Black people. There is de facto And de jure laws, for instance, in Boston, they said schools were not segregated by law, but in reality, the schools were segregated. Yep. See, and it's all like a play on words, all smoke and mirrors because it all still exists. Ask any Black person you know if things in this country feel like slavery is over or not, and just listen to them with the open heart. You'll find out. Still going on, different forms, less blatant. Yep, very much alive. Britain was engaging in transatlantic slaves. See, in the 1500s. Thank you. I knew somebody would call me out. That's yes. 1500s, but the first ship that came here, I think it was called Jesus too. Anyway, the first ship that came here was in 1619, but it had been started before that. And yeah, it's crazy. 1772, not 1792, you guys. That's a whole 100 years extra. Exactly. I think the 14th Amendment is what they're, yes, to justify, yes, okay. The 14th Amendment, yes. And then also, look how America be playing in our faces, because Roe v. Wade was not codified, and now women are having to do whatever they need to do for their bodies. Just like slavery was not codified, you guys. There's parts of the laws to make the slavery over that haven't been codified. That means it hasn't been totally written into law. There's still another step, you guys. Yes, it's disgusting. But that's why we have small fringe communities like this, where it's all different type of people saying what we need to say, learning from each other, not being afraid to say what's real. And hey, and if our ears bleed, we still come back for more, because look, we learn different stuff being around different people. We're not going to learn if we're always around the same people, doing the same things, having the same arguments. You know what I mean? And the thing with arguments, though, is that there's enough room on right for everybody. Just because I have my POV doesn't mean that yours is wrong. And it's just like if I'm pro, me and my friend were talking the other day. Let's say if you're pro USA, that does not make you con Africa, let's say. If you're pro Haiti, it doesn't make you con USA. If you're pro Africa, it doesn't make you anti or con Europe. You know what I'm saying? Just because you are something doesn't make you automatically the negative of its opposite. So I can be for Black people rights, and I love the way that Cat Williams says it. He is a pro-Black anti-racist. Did you guys catch that? So I am adopting that lingo. I am a pro-Black, pro-melanin, because, yeah, I'm a pro-melanated, anti-racist. So I love everybody. My great-grandma, I already told you the story. She's a white lady. She's a white lady from France. So I have both in me, and I know that it takes both. I know that out of one are many, e pluribus unum, and it's literally like being racist is stupid, you guys. We're all human. That's the race. The reason this race stuff comes up, though, is that in this humanness, there are many people getting treated differently, obviously differently than the rest. And it needs to be talked about and adjusted and corrected. So today we didn't get into Martell. I forgot about Marty Marr's little beady eyes over here. Marty Marr, that's the only person I didn't talk about. We got it, everybody else. Okay, so the reason Marty Marr was on this thumbnail is because old boy got arrested, you guys. Love and Marriage Huntsville's coming on tonight for the third part of the reunion. Marty Marr. Yes, Melody Holt's elf-eared, pointy-eared husband, ex-husband, who got to keep his name, Holt. He sat up on that stage last week. He ran off that stage in his tight little suit. came back with his paper. The next day, by Monday, that fool was arrested, you guys. Had a mugshot. Marty Marr had a mugshot for that revenge pee and those threatening texts he sent to Melody Rogers. It was all real, you guys. So what had happened? Quick synopsis. Melody Rogers was married to Martell Holt. They were on the show on OWN, Love and Marriage Huntsville, Carlos King. Well, they broke up. He had a side baby with a side dish called coleslaw. Everybody calls it coleslaw. And I think they call it coleslaw because it's one of the least liked side dishes. They didn't want to ruin baked beans. They didn't want to ruin French fries. They didn't want to ruin greens. They didn't want to ruin mac and cheese. So she got relegated to coleslaw. And she has a baby. Well, coleslaw and Marty Marr have for at least 3, 4, 5 years now been going online trying to make Melody's life miserable, to the point where coleslaw called somebody and said, oh, Marty Marr gave me a tape of him and his wife having SCX, but he wants me to release it and blur it or something and act like she's giving fellatio to somebody else. What should I do? That person, I think her name was Carson Blue, made an appearance on the show this season. And she's at the bridal, no, she's at that tea episode. She blew the whistle and said that she was contacted by Coleslaw, who asked her, who should she release this revenge P? The P stands for porn, you guys. That Martin Marr had asked her to do. Carson Blue was like, girl, he asked you to do it so you could get caught. I don't think that's a good idea. So she didn't do it. But in the meantime, Marty Marr, I mean, narcissists do what narcissists do. We already started the video with what narcissists do, right? So he is so emboldened in his abuse of Melody that he sent her a threatening text message that said he would be releasing this as to harm her, basically. And they took those text messages along with other evidence, I guess, and Marty Marr had to turn himself in, you guys, for domestic violence and threats, you guys. Martell Holt arrest on domestic violence, you guys. DV. So let's look at this. Pull this up real quick. I'm going to just show it to you. Okay. Martell Holt. No thanks. Was arrested and harassing communications, you guys. He was booked into Madison County Jail on the 9th and released 3 hours later, charged with third-degree domestic violence and harassing communications. And it was because of the things that he sent to Melody. You guys, look, God don't like ugly and very little pretty. You better get to right. Don't send things to people that you don't want to get in jail. Look, oh, how the mighty have fallen. Let's see, where are we? Yes. Hey, Shay, it's Krista. Aliens, just saying. Yes, Marty Marr. He effed up hard. Such a freaking scumbag. Bonjour, Sarah. It's so good you're here. Yes. His own grave digger. Like Louis, yes. You give them a platform and they just bury themselves. Literally. Okay, so did I talk about it all? I hope so. Let's see. Let's go over here. So today I wanted to talk to you guys about I'm just checking my thumbnail notes here. I'm going to there. More. So we talked about Kiki. She wasn't supported. Dr. Heavenly making rounds. Annemarie. Oh, I didn't do the Annemarie thing. Damn it. One more thing, you guys. Okay. So now I need one more thing. We have 2 minutes. I don't want to go over 2 hours. Let's make this a little smaller. I'm going to do the search. I'm going to, come on, don't trip. American Association. I'm going to make this small, make it halvesies. And the other half is this half. And we're hurrying up. Okay. So we talked about Real Housewives of Miami, Kiki. She was not supported. She supports all the ladies. They better step up. We talked about Dr. Heavenly making rounds for Married to Medicine. Great show. It's been excellent. She was just here on Larger Curves. Check out the interview Dr. Heavenly and I did on the 16th, the day before my birthday. Excellent hour and a half interview. She's very honest and forthright. We talked about Mary calling it like she sees it. We talked about Doritos. We talked about Martell. And now we're going to hurry up and talk about Annemarie and Crystal over there on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Because Annemarie was talking about the esophagus over there on Beverly Hills again, you guys. And talking about, I'm a nurse esthetician and Crystal's just jealous of me because she didn't go to medical school and I went to medical school. You guys, the 8th housewife should work at the American Society of Anesthesiologists. Look, the American Society of Anesthesiology has entered the chat and it's anti-anesthesiologist Annemarie. They are not here for Annemarie, as many people are not. So the American Society of Anesthesiology is making it clear to Annemarie that there is a big difference between an anesthesiologist and a nurse anesthetist. Because remember, she was trying to school Crystal. Well, it looks like the society is schooling her, you guys. They are pointing out what it takes to be an anesthesiologist like Dr. Nicole. You must complete medical school. You must complete medical school. You must have 12 to 14 years of higher education, 12,000 to 16,000 hours of clinical studies, training focused on these things. And you have to spend a year in fellowship to learn about these things, right? So this is Dr. Nicole, did all of these things and did this. She's a nurse. She did not complete medical school. She's a liar. So first she lied on Crystal and said Crystal started an eating disorder rumor on Sutton. The lies you tell, bitch. Go back and watch the show. You would know Crystal would never. And that's why Crystal called you a bitch. Because you're lying on her, bitch, in her face. You only went 5 to 7 years of higher education, Anne. You only completed 25,000 hours of that, Anne. And you don't participate in anything. So you just need to cool your jets. Acting like Dr. Nicole is clout chasing off of you. She don't, like Dr. Nicole said, you clout chase off of people that have done more or have more, which you don't. Have 3 seats in the back of the room. I don't know what these new housewives are doing. Her and Nneka coming in all hot. Cool your jets. Play your position. And it's not the first chair. Play your position. You're a newbie. You get to sit over there. Don't come in so hot. When we can have the Society of Anesthesiology come and set you right. She's a flop. A big flop. I was waiting. I wanted you to see this too, reality, Krista Marie, because look, isn't that hilarious? We were talking about it yesterday over on Krista's channel. You guys watch out for whose side are you on? I'm usually over there a couple times a week. And so, yes, Dr. Nicole is the clout. They clowned her so bad. Yes, it was a real. Yes, it's real. This is on their freaking ASHHQ. Yes. Now, look, what does this part say? Now, Annemarie is going to say that the American are chasing clout too. And then they had a comment. It says, the real housewives know a fake. Anesthesiologists are medical doctors with more than 12 years of higher education. Title misappropriation has no place in healthcare, is what they said, you guys. Title misappropriation. Look. I think that the society might need to join forces with the eighth housewife, because that was excellent. 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 Anyway, you guys, that's 2 hours and 4 minutes. There was one other little something. I was going to mention it, but it's so fringe to Love and Marriage Huntsville. I heard that Destiny Payton. Remember her from Love and Marriage Huntsville? She was friends with Martell, then tried to befriend Mel, then went back to Martell, and even spent the birthday party with some people that are anti-Mel. Well, anyway, remember she divorced the guy, had the baby on the show, and then he left her 2 weeks after she had his baby, and then he let her live in the house and she got evicted from the house. Remember Destiny? Well, remember she found new love? It turns out that the love that she found their way, Moses. What was his name? His name was Moses. Anyway, Moses was all in with Destiny. Destiny was still hanging out with a producer from Love and Marriage Huntsville, even though she wasn't on the show anymore. The Love and Marriage Huntsville producer ended up stealing Destiny's man, and he married her, girl. Oh my gosh. Let me just hurry up and look. Yeah, I'm supposed to. Let me call you right back. I don't know. Where are you? Okay, peace. Because it's raining out there? Okay. I'm supposed to go take care of my stuff and my dad's today again, and I've been talking a long time. But hey, look, I was gonna look real quick. Destiny, Muhammad, and Moses. Anyway, if you guys Google Destiny Muhammad, Moses producer, then you guys will see that story. Yes. Here, I'll hurry up and show you. Destiny Payton. She was fired. And then if you say Moses, here we go. Bam. So, Urban Bell Magazine, shout out. Destiny Payton's former boo marries Love and Huntsville producer. Yep, sure did. So after she departed, she was hooking up with Moses. And Destiny was no longer on Love and Marriage Huntsville, but her life has been in drama, has not to go turn herself in, and her father went with her and everything. But according to a YouTuber, what's happening now is that Destiny's ex, Moses, quietly married Love and Marriage Huntsville producer Sonny Meeks. Sonny confirmed the marriage on her Instagram. Yes. And there are some screenshots. See, he was with her over here, And now he's happily married over here, you guys. I don't like her either, but I don't think she deserved that. I don't know. Something about the Destiny was hanging out with Moses and this lady who she thought was her air quote friend. She thought she could trust this lady around her new man. And I guess she couldn't, because that's who he asked to marry him, was the producer. So Destiny is single again. At least she's not in jail and single. Not married her. Oh, yes. Yes, she can't catch a break. Yes, and the cameras missed it. You guys. I feel bad for her. She was on, is it stereo or speaker or some platform, and somebody caught a snippet of the conversation that she had for that part. But okay, you guys, that's it for today. I hope you smash the button, smash the like button. It looks like my father's ashes are getting delivered. I have to go, you guys. Wish me luck. All my emotions are about to come up. My dad was finally cremated after passing last month, and his ashes are getting delivered. Right now, I have to go. I love you guys. Wish me luck. Make it a great day. And don't forget, use your vote the way you want to. Okay? I love it. There's enough to go around.